it is raining. I don't know if everybody can see that, but it is coming down outside. So, um, I had a lovely time with Crystal today. If you all hadn't joined us, go look at the post, the community post. You'll watch it, give her some support. We had a lovely time. And it only comes that people really enjoy watching Kinda Saga. And just I we had several people on there that had never heard of it, of course, and actually said that they may never do it, but they actually really found it very calming to actually watch somebody do it and create the my table back here a little bit, create the project. So we're still working on the tilted thing. I didn't even put away my supplies. I did go take a nap, which was very much needed. So for those that didn't know, this was actually what we did. This is the pattern. I love it. I actually changed it up a little bit last night. Kept the window after everybody said you need to keep the window. I kept the window. But I redid it to make the window look a little bit more proportionate to the actual project. So this is what we did so far. I'm loving it. I don't quite know what to do with, um, we're going to use these colors, and I'll like for this other side, I'll use this color, and then, go ahead and put the brown or the this color here, and then on the outside do the brown here. So I really liking these colors for the cat, and her cat's name is Spanish for cinnamon, Canela. So that's going to be the name of this, and I may end up sending this to her. I haven't figured out what I'm going to use for the uh the yarn ball, but whatever I use, I have to have yarn to be able to kind of match that. But I haven't decided that yet either. But and I haven't decided. I have to go to that one place and go see if I can find fall leaf uh um fabric for the pumpkin. But I'm thinking I may do this for the bottom. I don't know yet. But I also thought maybe I would look for and they have it at the one store. They have it at other places too. They have fabric that looks like wood. And I thought maybe having this look like a wood table on the bottom would be really cool. Um, but I'd have to get a lighter wood because if I use the brown, then it will kind of blend in. So I may like get a gray wood look for the bottom so it looks like wood. Um, so that it would be a little different from the color of this here. I don't know yet. I'm kind of stumped with that. And I kind of don't know what to do for the back. So I may look for fabric for the back wall. Love the curtains, which we got at the blooming fabric store. That's the new fabric store I found. Love the way the cats go and love it. Love the eyes. What I'll end up doing is maybe get some puff paint and put just a little dot of paint on either side. Love the eyes. Just haven't decided the back part of the wall yet, and maybe finding out something for the bottom. I think gray would probably be the way to go, and get, of course, something that looks like gray wood, almost like this. This here is like a wood table or something. I don't know, or floor. I don't know yet. Kind of stumped on that, but I think what I'm going to do is finish the cat, finish the yarn ball, and then once I get that done, if I can't find anything here that matches or that I like, then I will go ahead and go and bring it with me and kind of figure something else out. I don't know. I thought about maybe doing this, that maybe this would look good for the wall in the back. Thought that would look really good if I use this. This is going for that teardrop. So I thought maybe that would look really good, and I think it would go really well. I really like this fabric. I may have to go back and get some more. So I may use this because I think it would look really good for the back wall. I just don't know the bottom yet. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm really think I like this. I think this would look really pretty, and neutral. I may have to go back and get some more of this color because I really, really like it. Um, it kind of has that grayish blue, and I think it will go really well with the curtains, and I think it blends very well with the cat. So I don't know, kind of debating on that, but I'm liking the way the cat's coming out, and we did that on her channel, and it turned out really, really well. Loving it. Cat's so cute, but I did change up the window. I did. Kind of that great. I think it really. That's fine. I think it blends very well with the cat. Okay, that's fine, Sandy. I'm just thankful people show up. But there was a lot of people on her live that said what I think is the ultimate thing about this is really that it becomes, even if you never pick up a seam ripper, this becomes just fascinating to watch. And she said, and even Crystal was like, it's really cool to watch this all come together. So, you know, people were finding it very, very relaxing to watch. So I was very thankful. I'm still in the process of getting soap caddies done. I did, like I said, I had to lay down for a nap. I still have about, I need to do at least 20, 25 more soap caddies. It won't take me that long. So I may have to very well kind of, go in that direction a little bit, but we'll get it all done. But I thought I wanted to hop on because I wanted to just thank Crystal so much for having me on, and that cat. We're gonna finish that, guys. I feel like my head's just going. Okay, let's just go in about a million different directions right now. So, and I thought of this too. It was another thing that I thought of. And I've got to go through my. Well, just there's no way. Organizing fabric would be really nice to have it all organized and everything, but it's never going to happen. I really love this. I love how the curtains came out. I think it came out so well. Don't want to mix that up. So anyway, hold on a second, y'all. I'm trying to see something. Thinking that if I use that for the top, where is it? Mhm. I don't have enough stuff in my head going on there. So I'm thinking this may not be a bad idea, actually. If I don't have look, taking this lighter part of the gray, because I don't want to do it too light unless, and taking this and kind of putting this on the bottom. That may not be a totally bad idea. Or taking more this side where it's got a little bit more of a pattern to it. I think I'll take this and use this. I don't know. I haven't totally decided yet. And put this on the bottom and then still use this for the around the cat. We could do that. I don't know yet. I'm kind of lost. I just have to mull it over. I really like this. I think it'll go great with the curtains, and I got to get more of that. But this may be really cool. Kind of this side. This will be too dark for it. But kind of doing something like this. It almost would look like if you wanted it to look like a countertop. That wouldn't look like terribly. That would go really well. And it would pick kind of up the silver in the curtains. I'm thinking that may be really the possible way to go. I said, hi fire and hi Phil Farm. So anyway, we'll see. But the cat will come along. It's about the only cat I can get anywhere near because I'm allergic to everything else. I'm allergic to being near a cat. So that's another project working on. I've got so many, so many. So this is our tilted teapots, which is exactly what I feel right now. Now, yesterday I took a little rubby dubby y'all. And I actually went and labeled this. So as I'm working it, I kind of know exactly what we're going to do. So I wasn't sitting there going, oh, okay, well, what's this going to be? And what's that going to be? So that's a little trick if you're kind of working with something and you're kind of having to plan it out. Just take your rubby dubby. You're going to peel this off anyway. And then that way it will label all of this. And then you're not sitting there going, okay, which one am I going to be using? So just a little trick, um, for sure. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here terribly long because I'm going to go make some more soap caddies. I've got probably about 20 more, but then I'm going to have to start making them out, cranking them out because I think we're going to get busy with our soap caddies, which is about time, actually. So, anyway, but I wanted to come on. I wanted to let you all see those that skipped the live with Crystal and I. Please go back to our post on our channel and go watch it. She was it's lovely to be on with her. Enjoyed her community tremendously. Appreciate her having me on, and it was just a delight. So thank you very much, Crystal. Yeah, gonna come up with it in a minute. The Yarny Cat Lady, Yarny Chicken, Crazy Cat Lady. She's a sweetheart. And I will be sending her a couple soap caddies probably next month so she can put those in her giveaways. So, and I did put a post up. Anybody is willing to, they will have to email us. But if they would like to come on while we're doing this, they don't have to do this. They can just come on, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, have a beverage, crochet. I don't care what they would like to do, any of them. And we will gladly have them on while I do this. So if you would like to do that, I know Kelly is Kelly with Grace and Grit. She's going to come on one day. We're just going to chit chat. It was awful nice to sit here today and chit chat. I'm not sure when Christina is going to come on. She's planning to come on and do it, of course. She's my other part of the Kinasaga Chicks, and that's my daughter. So anyway, so I just had to lay down for a nap today. It's like never fails. You're going to lay down for a nap and someone calls. Yep. Well, it's teacups. Um, my mother and I have we have tea every day, so these are the tilted teacups. They're three teacups stacked on top of each other, and so they're tilted teacups. And I'm loving the way it's turning out too. I think it's fun. I'll be doing another one of these for sure because this one's already spoken for. And we ordered the 6mm in the eyes. They're down at the mailbox. I keep forgetting somebody's got to go down there and get them. And I got the fish eyes, but they're not big enough. I got to order. I have to order. I have to order 12mm on the fish eyes. They're just. Anyway, I did sleep better last night. I had my juice last night. I forgot to get it going today before I came live. I have it too late. It's not good, but whether it had anything to do with it, I don't know. So we'll try tonight. I'm trying to experiment and see. I just forgot to grab it before I came live. And then if I don't grab it, and if it's 10 o'clock at night, I don't have it because it's too late. So we shall see. It was raining right before we came live. It didn't last very long, but anyway. Let's come on. Let's work on the teapots together tonight. I'm finding out I'm using the glue more than I thought I would, but it's okay. It's what it's. It's been a great saver when it comes to stuff because it makes everything nice and clean and crisp and solves a lot of problems. Yeah, that's glue. It's this stuff. I would not I have little things so I can throw out. I put a very little bit in. This is on our fabric list. Hi Riches. This is a very, very small amount because it will dry out very quickly, but I use it a lot. And it helps with frays, it helps with issues, and everything. And yeah, we are gonna get our little goose done. Um, this is our newest one. This we did today on. You can see that one on Crystal, the Yarny chicken. So that's our new one, and that is how it's coming out. Love the kitty cat. About as close as I can get to a kitty cat. I love it. I love this fabric came from the Blooming Grove. Let me tell you about out in the country. It's out in the country. Yes. Oh, well, I'm so sorry you've been ill. Um, this is that. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love how the window came. So cute because people were watching and she was saying, people were like, I don't know if I'd ever pick it up, but I'm telling you, I just subscribed to your channel to watch you do that because people were watching the kitty cat come to life. Oh, well, hopefully you'll connect with her. She's a really neat lady. She was it was very nice to be on her channel. Very, very thankful she had us on. So, and again, I haven't heard anything about becoming an affiliate with them or having Mama, I should say, but we are, boy, did we have just, you guys are looking for, and when you go to this, you see Mary Mullet. That's not me. That's the little Amish lady I met in the store. But this is the oat and home honey. We're trying to become an affiliate with them. It's with the Amish Farm Soap Company. Let me tell you about this stuff. Just absorbing into the hands. It is wonderful products. So hopefully we'll become an affiliate. But they called me the other day and ordered a good chunk of soap caddies. They have 5 different stores and they want them in all of their different stores. And it was huge. So I've been busy. I had at least a stockpile of soap caddies, but I have to do some more. Which means I also have to do some more yarn. Wow, 72 kinds of soap. Well, I was waiting for somebody to kind of, do that had they have like a soap company that wanted to work with us. Oh, wonderful. Wanted to work with us to have that, did soap and wanted to have our soap caddies in their store. And so then they said, well, if it goes well, then we'll put you on the website. I'm like, man, that would be huge. So I really I kind of gotta dedicate and, I was kind of like, I really got hyped about this, and I'm not stopping Kina Saga. Don't worry, it's not happening. You're stuck with it, whether you like it or not. Oh, well, that's wonderful that you have them, but I'm sorry you had that happen. Um, but I am have to realize that that's something I have to do too. My mother said, I don't think I can learn how to make them. I said, Mom, I'm just trying to get you to finish your blanket that you started. She has a knitted blanket that, or not, yeah, a crocheted blanket. It's beautiful. And I always watched her when we had the, what was it? I'm going to remember it too. When we had the, wow, 1,000 old bars of soap. We had, when the Olympics would come on, my mom would always knit a blanket. And I just always loved to watch her. We'd always loved to watch the skating, and she would always knit a blanket. Beautiful. And so I found this blanket, and I love hearts. And this was when I was a teenager. And I said, Mom, would you knit me this blanket? So we went out, picked out the yarn and everything. Do you think it's all done? No. Beautiful job. And so I said to her, Mother, you've got to finish this blanket. So years have gone by. Years have gone by. And it's one row left. And so when I had my daughter, I said, Well, Mom, you can finish this blanket because you didn't finish for me. You can finish it for your granddaughter. Y'all, it's still not finished yet. So now I've said to her, Okay, Mom, you need to finish it one day for the possibility of you having a great great granddaughter because it's not going to be finished for your granddaughter. Or for if she doesn't have a daughter, then it can be given to your great great granddaughter one day. Oh my goodness, it's too funny. I've kidded her about this blanket that needs to get done. It's funny. It's beautiful. I'll have to show. We'll have to show you one day. Like, Mother, you have to finish this blanket. You just have to. So we'll have to show it to you. It's beautiful what she's done, but she's got to sit and do it. And I said, I'm gonna be like, Mother, you've got to finish this blanket. She made beautiful. Guys, this works great if you've gotten a little glue where you didn't want it. Just very carefully take your little things and you can, if it's dark fabric, it will very easily, of course, you don't want to take it away from the areas that you're going to need it, but areas that you think you just are going to be affected by it, you just take your little thing and it will come off without an issue. And then it will blend in. It doesn't look, it's a great trick. And the problem is if you get it where I'm afraid to use white or clear glue because then you can't see it. But if you use this, the water trick, you just need a little bit of Dabberdew, and it will take away from. It will take it away. The problem is if you get it where. Yeah. This has just been absolutely so relaxing, and my daughter and I are just connecting. We're just having a ball, her and I together with it, and I'm just having a ball. People are so fascinated by this. It's just they're just loving it, and I'm loving showing it, and I'm loving coming on and just chit chatting with everybody, and trying not to make everything perfect because we can't be perfect, but I have to watch myself that I don't overdo stuff or be trying to be perfect. But it's so much fun. I'm just having a ball doing it. I really am. Yeah. I think we're just starting. I mean, if you had sat there and told me I'd be tucking in fabric in your insulated board, I'd have laughed at you. No way. Yep. Like I said to people in Crystal's Live, I said, if you pick up a seam ripper and you're hooked, not my fault. I won't take the blame. And I think maybe what may stop people with this is they'll think, oh, I need all this fabric. You really don't. You just need little scraps. You just slowly build your supply. You go on to the book face and you ask people in your community, that maybe have that have leftover scrap fabric like I got. You ask people, maybe there's people in your family that are quilters that are looking for a place for their scrap fabric to go. Now, the only thing I can't, and I don't know if it would work, I have to be careful when I'm doing fabric, is I can't. I mean, I've not seen anybody use wool, but I have to be very careful that I don't go. Fleece wouldn't work well. I mean, it would. You just don't want a very stretchy fabric because you want it to look taut, and like t-shirt fabric wouldn't work that great. It's not impossible, but it's kind of chunky. And when I'm doing fabric, as I can't. Yeah, you just want to make sure that, yeah, you can go to Goodwill too, but you just want to make sure that you're not getting stuff that's really stretchy. You want it to have some, stiffness to it because you don't want it to be too stiff, but you don't want it to be too stretchy. But you don't need a ton. Go on to Facebook and ask people for. That's what I did, and I got a scrap full of fabric to start. And go on Amazon. It's not the greatest fabric, but it would get you started, get you practicing. And some of the fabric that I kind of you can see through or making work with putting a very solid white behind it and spraying it with this stuff, and it makes it work. It's like the cat today when I was doing it. You see this? Look how much that looks so nice. But when I just did it by itself without the white behind it, it was dull. This makes it pop. When I added the white, I did the same thing for the sun. This fabric was very kind of see through a little bit, and I put the white behind it. I use that spray and makes it pop. I have bolts and boxes of fabric. Oh, that would be wonderful. Oh, you're fine. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to look at Goodwill. Who knows? Oh, what was it? Goodness. I sent it to Josh. Oh my God. I was like, I'd have been in absolute heaven. Like people that buy storage units, they walked into the storage unit and they found tons of fabric. I mean, bolts of fabric, brand new fabric. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'd have been in absolute heaven. I'd have probably sold what I didn't use, but I'm like, oh my goodness. I was looking at it, go, wanted to cry. There's also a lady, Josh and I were thinking about going. It's like 45 minutes from here. I found it, and it was lady like getting rid of supply of stuff. And she was like selling like a yard for like $4 or something like that. I thought, well, maybe we'll go down and check it out and see what they have down there. I mean, I have to build my supply slowly, but one little at a time, and we'll get there. I'm not in a rush. I got plenty of time. Like I said to Christina, because this was her first piece or her second piece, and she'd like to try to sell this piece. This is if you're familiar with it's a, Once Upon a Time. She'd like to sell this piece. I think she did a really good job for her second piece. And she'd like to sell this one. And I said, okay, when you sell the piece, like she could probably get, say, $35, something like that. When she sells a piece, you're going to give me $10. And then we're going to start building the kitty. And then I have to order the eye again. This is the fish we're working on Facebook. I've got too many projects and not enough time, really. Loving it. We got the kitty. And can't show you all the teardrop because I'm working on that because I'm going to show my other's keeper, but I have got to do more of those patterns with the teardrop. Oh my gosh, they're so much fun. And they are so cute. I love the teardrop. Love it. I've got to do more. But right now I have to focus on getting ahead with the silk caddies again. And I went on today to see if the yarn on Hobby Lobby was on sale, but it's not. So I have to wait till next week and then go get some more, because she said to me, she's like, you may want to, once we do these, she said, if they go really well, which I think they will, she said, we'll probably be calling you in about 3 or 4 weeks for another order. And so I'm like, okay. So I thought I got to start building my stockpile again, because they've taken about all my stockpile. My mother was like, Mary, why are you doing them? I said, I don't know why, Mom. I just need to start. I wanted to go through all my old cotton yarn and get them done, but God had a plan. I just didn't know about it yet. But and thankfully, they're not something that take me a long period of time. And I take them a lot of times when we're on the road or we're going to doctor's appointments, because I can take them with me, and I can usually, depending on how long the doctor's appointment is, there's been a lot of times I finished a soap caddy while we're in the doctor's office. And funny, Josh will be like, yeah, that's my wife. I said I can do them in 20 minutes. If I'm really pressed, if I really want to get going with them. So, but it was really nice to see how many people were really fascinated by this today, and how many people were really like loving. They were asking questions about it, and they were loving to watch. I'm just taking a little water. I feel like I've gotten a little bit on a part I don't want to. I just take a little water and it gets rid of it. I'm very careful when I do dark. But again, I think if you do light, if you do clear, you get a lot of gunk in places. At least when I put the white glue on, I see where it's going. You just have to find out how to clean it off. And for those that don't know, Mama's birthday was the 23rd of this month. And this is going to Mama as a late birthday present. And these are her colors. She loves blue. She loves green. So, but I'll have to do another one of these. Hi, W1. Yeah. I make them with 100% cotton. Mm. This is called Kinasaga. Kinasaga is the art of tucking fabric into foam board. You do not want to use insulated board. Not styrofoam. Styrofoam. Um, styrofoam is too soft. So you can't go into your local craft store and get styrofoam. Styrofoam is, let me find it. Styrofoam is, as you can see from here, see all the dents? It has too much air pockets. You want to go to your home improvement store and look for uh, the Pink Panther. Or this Home Depot has the Pink Panther, Lowe's has another brand. But you use polystyrene. You need it to be hard. And so then you're taking this, you're cutting out your image on here. You're then taking your pattern. We have 2 patterns. And we're working on more. This is the first one. This is free underneath our website, our merch store. We also have a cross. So you take this. Thank you. Hers was the 23rd. My husband's and my 19th wedding anniversary was on the 21st. So you take the pattern, you put this on it, and then after you cut out your image, this is a 7x9. You take 3 ml paper. You put that on the foam board. You leave the top part on, and you're peeling it and tucking fabric in using a seam ripper. This is one we did. This is our flag. Very proud of this flag. This is a pattern that is also on our merch store. Is flag, which is beautiful. We did it with or without the uh, with or without the flowers. So you can choose if you don't feel like struggling with the flowers. We did it with or without the flowers. We used paint sticks to frame it. We are working to improve our frames, and we're looking to possibly do tits and so forth. This is a goose we're currently working on, and we'll make this pattern available. Understand, you all, I have to test these so that we can put them on our merch store and you guys can do them. So when I'm doing this, I'm not doing it just to do it. I'm having fun, but I'm also doing this so that we can test them and put them up on the merch store for you all to download. Most patterns are 2, the flag is 3 because you get 2 patterns. This is another one we're working on the Facebook. This is our fish, and we're going to I'm ordering resin eyes for this here as well. I'm using resin eyes for the goose as well. And for the goose series, I've come up with a pattern for fall goose, winter goose, and spring goose. So it'll all be a whole little section. My daughter is now hooked on to this King of Saga. This was her pattern. If y'all are familiar with, I can't think of what it is now. If you're familiar with Once Upon a Time, this was inspired by that. She is loving King of Saga. It was developed in the 1980s. They used to take the kimonos and put them and tuck them into wood board. They don't do that anymore. You use foam board for that. Um, I have one I can't show you because I'm working on it. My other's keeper. I will certainly show you that. This one we did today on this channel, and that one uh, is going to be we're going to start working on this soon, and that one's going to be this kitty cat. And so my daughter and I have named ourselves the King of Saga Chicks. But so we're going to be doing things together and so forth. She has a YouTube channel, you all. She is not far away from 500. I don't know if she'll ever go towards monetization, but I want to get her the numbers there in case she ever chooses to. She does cosplay very well. So after you've cut the foam board out, we use a hot knife to cut out the foam board. You put your 3 ml double-sided sticky sheets on or rolls. We started getting it in the rolls, but you can get it in sheets too as well. So once you've put that on, then you put your pattern on, and then we use this. This is what we recommend, and we have a list of everything that we use for the supplies. There's some of them are affiliate links that goes to Mama, of course. And we have our patterns there. And we use this, and you cut all around the lines in the image. And then once you do that, then you start taking and tucking your fabric in. That's how King of Saga works. We actually use, and it's on the fabric list. We use the jewelry lining that you line your jewelry drawers with for the back of our King of Saga projects, and you can even put a little of those little hooks there. Um, Hi, Kay, welcome on in. Here is our soap caddies. These are our soap caddies, and they are also in our merch store. These are made out of 100% cotton. This I made for a baby shower. Um, Actually, I became a grandmother very recently, so I use them for that event. And so we do them for baby showers and all different kind of things. But you put your soap in the soap caddy. You use it until it's done. We hang ours in the shower with command hooks, and you use them until they're done. Soap's all done, which means you're not wasting soap. As someone who deals with chronic pain and fibromyalgia, I have a real problem with harsh things to my skin, or bending down is very painful. So if I drop the soap bar, of course, I don't want to pick it up because it hurts too bad. So I put my soap in here. I hang it in the shower. We've never had an issue with a problem. My mother doesn't take showers; she just washes up. But she'll wash her feet and she'll use the soap bar. She'll put her soap in there and she'll use it. She loves it. They don't last forever. They last about a year. But we can do them. We can make them, and they're in several stores within our area, and they're going to be in this store very soon. Um, they have 5 different stores, and eventually maybe even on their website. So we're trying to become affiliates with them. Um, so anyway, but that's our soap caddies. Very proud of those. We'll do them for parties, events, and all different kind of stuff. And they don't take me too long to do, and everyone is literally handmade. So you take your fabric after you've, of course, done your pattern on your board, and after you've made all your cuts, and take your fabric, you put it down on to things. So y'all, not only I know people are like, oh, she's doing another King of Saga project, but we're having to test all these because we want to get them on the website. We've got one that's going to be very simple that I have to work on too. It's actually it's this one I want to work on for you all very soon here. And it's this image because I think this would be very easy for beginners. Um, yeah, well, just let me know. We can always work together. We have several on consignment and wholesale. So please let us know. You can reach out to us. Um, but this is pattern we're going to be working on very soon because I think it'll be very easy for beginners. I wouldn't choose this pattern necessarily for somebody who's just starting. So, um, but again, a lot of this stuff from the soap caddies to this, I do this because again, I deal with chronic pain on a daily basis. I'm just thrilled that any kind of revenue we get from here, we are trying to get back to monetization. So any help with watch hours would be gladly appreciated. So we, any of the revenue from our YouTube channel or this or the soap caddies, everything goes to mama. I'm just thrilled to be able to help do it and takes my mind off the pain because I'm in pain 24/7. So, but we have several, we have several, the local area. There's a place that I won a gift card recently and they took some of our soap caddies and, it's called Sundays in our local area. They wholesaled some of our soap caddies. Um, and, um, then there's a place down in 40 minutes from us, and they're on consignment down there. And then there's a place near us that did wholesale. So we work with both. But we also have specialty ones. Um, we have our Ohio State Buckeye ones. We have patriotic ones. We have our Stars and Stripes ones. My dad was in the military, my uncle in the Marines, my grandfather in the Army. So we have Coast Guard. I do. Yeah, Coast Guard. I got that one already. I gotta get a better thing for this. Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force. There's one, and Army. So we have soap caddies for all the branches of service. And if anybody does want to email us and want any of these, that they would like to have, as long as they're going to be using them for their personal use and handing them out to veterans when they see them. I will work with pricing on those as long as they're doing that. We have ones to represent paramedics, the whole little collection of ones. Um, the police department, and where's the other one? Looking for the other one. Where are you? That's not that one. And the fire department. So we have one for all of our emergency service workers. Um, okay. Yes, I have Navy. That's right. My dad was in the Navy. Yeah, Navy's right here. They're $5 on our merch store plus shipping. We have school bus driver. This one was really cute that we came up with, and everybody seems to like this one. If I can find it. Is we have our right on, our pencil soap caddy, which everybody finds really cute that we name that the right on soap caddy. But we do that one. Leave that one. Then we're going to come out with the holiday ones. I've given the Christmas ones. We have ones, 3 hearts to our Groove 3 sizes, which is our Grinch styled soap caddy, our Christmas soap caddy. We have our fall leaf soap caddy, our autumn leaves. We have our candy corn soap caddy. We're going to be coming out with St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day. And then, of course, we've got our 4th of July one. So we'll have some of the holidays. What we do, too, for anybody that needs them or orders them, is we always include an extra one into your packet. So if you order a soap caddy, we include an extra free one and we wrap it. We give you a little bag, so you can even have a little bag to give it to them. And we ask you to please make sure that you give that to your best, a friend. Please pass it on to your friend. Because we decided that, you know what, there was a lady that I listened to one time. She said she was really down and out one time. She just was really sad. And she said she ended up, her sister in law sent her a big bag of smiles. And she said, she was just so happy. And so had this big bag of these smiley faces. And she would go into stores and she'd hand somebody a smiley face. And she said now she orders these off of Amazon and just has them in her pocket to hand to somebody. And she sees somebody struggling or down or whatever. She hands them a smiley face. So I love that idea. And I thought, I wanted when people order a soap caddy to be able to have one. We give you a little note so you can even write, this is from so and so. Yeah. Um, this is from so and so. And so the note's there for you to put in, your name and so forth. So you've got the note, you got the bag, you got everything. And you just hand them to to a friend that you'd like to give one to. And then that way we ask that you pass it on and pass on the love. And, it's a way of blessing somebody else. And we're thrilled to be able to do that. So that comes in when somebody orders a soap caddy now, we include that and the note and everything is already in there. And your job is to pass it on to the bestie. And we love that. We can pass on somebody, make somebody else smile. And I think, it's so needed in our world. I think we go through a lot of times in our life where there's just not enough. We need to help people smile a little bit sometimes. We were at a store recently. It was Lowe's, or no, Home Depot. It was Lowe's. Yeah, it was Lowe's. And we were returning something, and it was a little bit of a struggle to get it all done. And the lady couldn't have been nicer. And she said to me, she goes, "It's not you. I'm just having she couldn't have been nicer, but you could just tell." And it's because I worked in customer service for so long. I just know. And she said to me, she goes, I can tell, she said, just struggling. And she said, I'm going on vacation soon. And it's just been one of those days. I'm like, I believe me, I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? And so anyway, we got done. And I just looked at her and I said, now, what's your favorite candy bar? And she said, it's the Three Musketeers. Well, I went looking for a Three Musketeer bar. They didn't have one. And nor was I going to pay, by the way, Lowe's, you need to come down because I wasn't going to pay $4 for a candy bar. And so, but there was a chocolate chip cookie. And I just went and got the chocolate chip cookie and I went back to her and I said, she was the customer services. Listen, truly, there wasn't uh, uh, Three Musketeer bar. But I said, I got you a chocolate chip cookie and I hope that this will make your day brighter. And you should have seen the dang on smile on that woman's face. She was she said, oh, nobody has ever done that for me before. I said, well, it's about time they did. And I made her happy. I made her day. Her shirt. She just smiled. And, well, thank you. Sandy's wonderful. We love Sandy. So anyway, I got her a chocolate chip cookie. Said thank you for your, taking care of us and everything. And I thought it's just not done enough. Being in customer service is one of the hardest jobs in the world. On top of being a mother, I think it's the most. I think being in customer service is kind of the most. It's the most. It's the job that's most kind of non-appreciated, and I think sometimes being a mom is somewhat non-appreciated. You don't know what you've been through until you become one. And I think unless you have done customer service, you don't understand it. We're, you're welcome. Yeah, we're sitting about, I think, almost 2,900 in watch hours. I just want to get back to monetization. I will never understand their reasoning behind it, nor their ability to be able to investigate it. And, you know, it was, I will be paying very close attention to it next time. I tell you what. Because when they said, oh, yeah, you left the partner program, I'm like, no, I would have never hit it, nor would my mother have hit it. And if it's easy to hit a button and there's no, I'm confirming I'm leaving the partner program, then they need to fix that, YouTube, because you need to make it really hard for somebody to leave. I'm sorry. Just not to just supposedly hit it and voluntarily leave it, and I didn't voluntarily leave anything. So anyway, that's my be careful, y'all. If you're in the partner program. Apparently there's no, I don't know. I know I didn't do anything, but supposedly we did. Well, we were careful. It was a fluke. And they told us that the reason why we lost our monetization is because we apparently left the program. But I didn't leave the program. And so, but they couldn't investigate it because it was done voluntarily. So I've given up understanding it. Just go, let's just keep going. There's nothing else to do because it's annoying enough to be just kind of okay. You're not going to, I'm not going to win the battle. So stop doing it. There's a point where I'm like, this is going to be, and I think I was talking to an AI bot too, which I don't think I was talking to an actual human, but it is what it is. Yeah. The whole thing didn't make sense. And everybody I've told the story to said that doesn't make sense. I'm like, yep, I wouldn't have done it. So I don't know. I just kind of go, okay, just keep going. We're going to party when it happens. And of course, YouTube is behind on hours. So when you go to your back studio, we have 600 hours banked, but they're behind several days. So what's happening now is that we're losing because we don't have that year, the first year grace period. We're losing every time, every day. We're losing hours because they go back to, like, tomorrow. They'll go back to tomorrow a year, or yesterday, which today is the 28th. So they'll go back to July 28th of 2025, take those watch hours away from us, and then give us some more from what we banked, which is like almost 700 hours from watch. They just don't dump it. Be nice if they did, but they won't. Yep. They won't. So they're taking them, and I'm trying to get them back as quickly as possible without them eating up too many of the previous day. That's why you're seeing me doing a lot of lives. But I'm finding out this is one way I can do lives without, if I'm having a rough day, which is a lot of the times, guys. I know you all see me and you think, oh, she's got it. I'm like, no. This art has helped me when I really don't have the ability to come live. I can come and do this, um, and still come live and get the watch hours needed in. I hate her. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, we're gonna get there. I'm gonna get it back. My community won't allow me to give up. But, you know, that's another reason why I'm doing this, is because of that. And that, what I think, first of all, if you want to know my honest opinion, people don't realize it, is, when you get into the partner program with YouTube, you have $100 that you have to meet before they're going to pay out, which I really think for small channels, I think is hard to accomplish. I think it should be at $50, and then you get your payout. I don't think it should be sitting at 100. I think $100 and having to meet that requirement can be hard for smaller channels. Bigger channels, it's not that hard. Small channels like ours, it's hard. And there was a lot of times that we didn't make it, and they'll bank it, they'll roll it over, which is fine, but we didn't make it because we didn't meet the $100 requirement. I think it should be more like 50. I think that's more able for smaller channels to accomplish that than them to be able to get the bigger channels to, for the small channels to be able to do. Yeah. So you have to meet that $100 requirement every month in order for them to send a payout. But what I think people don't realize is, for us, especially for Mama, who's on a fixed income, that little bit of $100 a month helps. Our rent has gone up $100 in October. So if we're able to, and it doesn't always have to be super chats and all that. Sometimes it's just ad revenue. When that comes in and we get that $100, that makes a huge difference. And I really encourage people that are on doing stuff and on YouTube to get monetized, because it does help. And I think to myself, it helps more people than I think, what they kind of realize does. That little bit of $100. And not everybody is pulling in, $1,000 or something. It'd be awful nice, but not everybody's doing that. But the little bit we have gone in since we were monetized helped a tremendous bit. Sometimes it was just from, The ad revenue's running. Wasn't necessarily from any super chats or anything or memberships. That's one of the reasons why we kept our memberships low, because we know kept them $2.99 and 99 cents, because we know everybody's, sometimes they're tight. And I had a lot of people tell me that that's one of the reasons why you know, they didn't always keep memberships with people, but they did with ours because they liked the price point. They were thankful. And I'm like, I'll always keep it at the 99. I'll always have that option as a 99 cents, because some people need that. They want to support a channel, but they just don't have a lot extra. But it gives them the ability to do that. Sometimes you have to do a little pressing to get it if you kind of. I found that out. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have buy a coffee too. And, you know, that's helped. That's helped a little bit as we're kind of gone through a little bit of our slump right now with everything getting back, with YouTube and stuff. But, you know, and if you just think to yourself, there may be, you know, not everybody has it. I can't, always go on a channel and buy super chats or memberships or anything like that. But if you watch somebody on YouTube and you can just let their ads run, that helps them. And you're not having to do anything but just let their ads run, because that'll help them. Not a lot, but it will help them. Sometimes when we had it, we had $2 or $3 coming through. I may have to put a little bit of, because that's just like really, can remember which blue was this. Yes. That's just gonna, I need to make a little bit of a cut there. Sometimes you have to do it, and it's keep trying to get it to come to work, and it's just not. So we're gonna. Sometimes you have to. You can tuck it in, and this is going to Mama, but that's gonna. It's really obvious that I've made a little boo boo, which is fine. We make boo boos, but if I could get the hole to close up, it wouldn't be a problem. But it's big enough that it's just not doing what I want it to do. So we're gonna do a mending thing, and I could take it all out, but I'd start a domino effect. I can see it. So we're gonna just fix it, and it's gonna blend right in, and we're gonna be fine. That looks a lot better. So if you have to make a boo boo and you have to fix it, you can fix it. It's not that big a deal. And I know this is going to Mama, but I'd like it to look nice. It's just, I just cut it too fine, and it's really going to be a problem. I would prefer not to have it on there, but we're going to make it just kind of blend in, and we're going to be fine. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still learning. When we get done learning YouTube, I think the Lord's going to come back by the time we get done learning it. You know, the problem is with YouTube is they have something, and you think you got it, and then by the time you got it, they change it. It's like, wait a minute, do you really have to change it? I was just getting that one down. So we have to really change it, please? Just can we leave it, please? Now, see, I've gotten this, and I'm only going to be the one to notice it. It's so fine of a mistake. But the problem is that was such a big gap, and it was fraying really bad, and you could see the purple board through it, that it was not making me happy. So if you do have to make it, you can make a little mending and it will be fine. And it'll be my imperfect piece in it. Like if we start doing kits, I'm gonna have to do some kind of fancy thing that says, please remember, you all, this cannot be perfect. We're not perfect people by any stretch of the means. We're just human. Like my grandbaby. That is perfect, but he's not always going to be that little perfect person. And nor is he going to have a perfect grandma. It's perfect does not exist. So I think that looks a lot better. I'm happier with that. I'm not happy I had to do a little bending or mending, but if it showed you all how to do it, you know, if you look at it this way, teapots crack, right? There's teapots that crack, right? So we can just say this fell on the ground and had a little bit of a crack. That's what we're gonna go. That's what we're gonna get. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We had to fix the crack. It fell, and it got a little chipped. You like my reason behind it? All right, I'm gonna make a. I think we're gonna make a. See, this is why I have to test things out, because I can see when there's an issue. We're gonna make a little correction there. That's why we do what we do, what we do. The reason I started on the blue was because everything was pale up by there and you couldn't see it. Because everything was kind of blending in. So anyway, you know, I didn't start this channel for rags or riches. I started it because I wanted people to have a place to come. And I knew what it was like to be lonely. I knew what it was like to not have anybody. And I wanted people to have a safe place that they could come talk and have friendship and all that kind of stuff. That's why I started it. I did it for connection. And the rest of the stuff has been nothing but blessings. And where my daughter and I are right now in our journey is a really, really good place. And I have to thank this art form for it. I'm very, very grateful for her and how excited she is. And, you know, we're crafting together and it's wonderful. She's having a ball. She finished her pickle. I'm excited to see. I was on the live today when she had it, and then she had stuff to do. So she hasn't called me yet to show me, but I'm on the live. So yep. You can learn a lot about crafts, and that's I'm thankful people. I'm inspiring people to learn this and inspiring them to maybe craft, even if it's not this, to get crafty and get creative. If you're dealing with a chronic illness, please get your hands busy. Best thing you can do. I know it hurts. I know it does. I know it hurts to sit. I know all that, but you've got to get them busy with something. Um, but the main part of this channel will always be crocheting that connection. And I have to thank Louis Acre Karma for that one because she was the one that said, well, you are crocheting. You are teaching people how to crochet. They're crocheting that connection. She was the one that came up with that. So I said, you're right. I've got a night owl one I've got to work on because sometimes I can't sleep. So I want to do the night owl. Come on. And when you're using these tools, if you use them in our thing, just be careful because they can really go through the foam. You have to use them with a little gingerly. You can wrap your entire fabric around. I choose not to. I find I like the look and just the flatness of having everything on the side because we frame our stuff. So you can use ribbon if you don't want to frame it with anything. You just go ahead and use ribbon. See, to some degree, that's really blending in really well. We're just going to look at it as saying it had a chip. We had to fix the chip. My little part of it that's not perfect. There's a lot in this one that's not, but I think I've done a pretty snazzy job on this one. Okay, then once we get done with this, we'll work on the actual teacup. I want to call it teapot too, and it's teacups. Joshua, don't start yawning. We're gonna flip this around because I don't think I like how short that is. Work the other way better and more fabric to work with. I also have to work on the horse and buggy pattern because we live in the Amish country, and I'd like to put that down at that store down there. But I thought, oh, it'd be really cute to actually get little wheels, little dollhouse wagon wheels on ST and add them to the horse and buggy. I thought it would look really cool to have that, like that 3D version of the little horse wheels. So I have to fix the pattern, and then I have to print it out and have Josh look at it because then he can tell me what size. But I think it looked really cute to have you have to keep your knife out because sometimes you think you've cut through and you just haven't. It'd be really cute to use the dollhouse horse and buggy wheels for the horse and buggy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, I ain't going to. King of Saga is not going to go away from me. And if people are tired of it, hopefully they're not. I was encouraged today when I went on and Crystal's channel, and people were like, "I may never pick up a seam ripper, but people were like, I just love watching. It's very calming to actually watch it. Of course, you're not supposed to book your nose on your container of fabric. I really like this blue. Now, this is the solid pattern or the solid fabric that came from Country Fabrics. I really like their solids. The blooming fabrics that we went to, I still have that video. I mean, it's a smaller store. It doesn't it has some fabric. It just doesn't have a lot. It has some. Um, doesn't have a ton of fabric, but it's still a cute store. Still has some really cute fabric. But it's. I mean, we were in the store and we were listening to them speak. Uh, you know, Amish Dutch or German dialect. So I knew that they were couldn't be nicer people in there, but I mean there were children running in the store that, you know, running in and out of the store and running across the street and into country and farmland, and it was like, yep, out in the boonies. That's what we want to do. Is we want to get we want to be able to eventually do kits where we're getting them from local stores, and within our area that are out there, family small businesses that are, um, you know, just they're not your normal Hobby Lobby and all that kind of stuff. They're more to the local. I just think it'll be cool to have it come from. This came from Berlin, Ohio, which is downtown Amish, um, down in the Amish country, and um, Shiloh, Ohio, and I just think it'll be really cool. Yeah, yeah. Their fabric at Country Fabrics is very they've got. I could go crazy getting a lot of solid colors. It's not that expensive. I think it was $7.99 a yard for the solid fabrics. Sorry to bother anybody. I just think it'll be really cool when we get to the point if we do kits. I think it'll just be so cool to be able to say this came from Shiloh, Ohio, and be able to not only that, one thing I said to my mom is be able to put a QR code that takes you to our YouTube channel that has that store, where it's showing like the outside and the fact that this is like, out in the country and showing you the store and letting you see where you've gotten the fabric from. I think it's just be really cool. This is where it came from, and this is, you know, as we're going to like the one in the Bell, the one we got this fabric at, got this one, that store. We got this one. We got one that is going to work for a pumpkin, but to be able to just, we were going there, and I'm like, yep, there's somebody on a horse and buggy. I just think it would be really, and there's cows, and it was really cool. I just thought it'd be really cool that they could click on the QR code, which would take them to our YouTube channel and show them, you know, where they got it and what the store looks like, even if they weren't there. If they weren't local, they could see it from there. And then to be able to do a QR code and be able to say, this is how you do King Saga. This is what this pattern looks like. And maybe do like sit here and do like a time lapse of the pattern, you know, or something like that. But it would also take them to our channel, even if it wasn't that Pacific pattern. But or it could be that Pacific pattern because we're testing all of them, and it could just take them to the lives and then the playlist too. Hey, Cindy Lou, welcome on in. We're working on our tilted teacups. Lord have mercy, Mary. So that's what I'd love to be able to do. Well, it's nice to see you as well. Yep. And I don't know tomorrow. I may take a day off and really work on soap caddies because I got to get ahead. So, but I figured out I wanted to come on tonight and show you the kitty cat that we're going to start working on. But I think I may kind of do that really simple one that I really want to do for y'all so I can get that one up on the website. And I think it looks like a quilt, so I'm thinking I may do that real quick and then take that down to the quilt store and see if they'll put it in their store. But so it may take us a little bit to get back to the kitty cat, but that is our kitty cat. Which is going to be this. That's going to be our kitty cat. I mean, I just think that this looks like a quilt to some degree, like a quilt square. And I'm thinking if I get it done and take it down to the fabrics, we'll be going down like to this the 7th or 8th back to the Amish country to deliver yeah. To deliver the what is it? To deliver the soap caddies, I want to take this down. And thank you. And Riches, I know Sandy didn't mean to do. I can tell you because I've modded before. Sometimes your fingers slip, but I like the window too, and I'm glad I kept the window. I did revise the window because the window Josh was like looked like a bathroom window. This one looked more. This window looked more proportionate to the rest of it. So, yep. Well, my mom's birthday was on the 23rd, and I'm giving her this. She doesn't know it yet. So, we somewhat. Um, we are going to be ordering. Um, let me just say this with this art form. Everything that we have received to do this has just been God is like, here you go. I mean, literally, here you go. And so I was on something on Facebook and I'm part of a group and I won a gift card to Amazon. So Josh wanted to order this saw and we just have enough to order it, which will make it real easy to actually get thicker wood and make the frames and make them look more professional as we take some of these ones. I think I'm doing good enough to be able to do it. I hope I am. And you guys could put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel to be able to take them and actually put them up and see if they could be sold. So we'd like to make a little bit better frames. The paint sticks work. They're not the easiest thing to put on, but they work. And it's also giving him something to do. My husband is disabled and he feels like he's accomplishing something. So he's always loved, he's been very good. He loves working with his hands, even though it's difficult. So he'd like to make better frames for the artwork, especially the ones if they're going into stores. So this, and I will go on anybody's channel. I went on Crystal's, the Yarny Chicken today. I will go on anybody's channel and show their people how to do it. And it's called this. This is how you spell it. I'm putting it in the chat. It's called Hima Saga. And it's the art of tucking in fabric, if I can spell it right, into insulated board. You are not using styrofoam. You are using polystyrene, which is what you're looking for is for the Pink Panther. And guys, if people come in and they don't know what this is, I'm going to explain it because I want people to understand what it is. Styrofoam is too soft. Polystyrene is what you need. Polystyrene. Pink Panther is Home Depot's brand, and Lowe's has a different brand. And so you take this and you this is one we did. This is one we're still working on. I still have to finish outlining it. And then you you do this. And I went on a live today with her, and I turned my camera around and we were just chit chatting and talking and doing this. So I will show anybody's community how to do this. Gladly come on and do a live with somebody. They're welcome to come on with me and do a live, go live together. This is one we did. This is up in the merch store. Um, as far as the flag with and without the flowers. And then the first one we did was this one, and this will always be free because it was done on my birthday. It's called the Rose, and this one will always be free on there. Um, keep that pull down if need be. My daughter has started to love doing that, and if you're familiar with Once Upon a Time, that was her second one she did. Um, and she's doing a great job. It's so much fun. This one we're doing on the Facebook one. This is the fish. And then we got the cat. Telling you. I'm hooked. Um, but it is so much fun. It is so relaxing. I'm doing one. I was on my keeper, but I can't show you that yet because that one she wants me to show. That's my daughter's channel, by the way. She wants me to show that when we're done. But what you do is you take out, this is a 7x9 out of a polystyrene board. We went to Lowe's. We got an 8 foot by 4 foot, but you can also get at Menards. You can get it in 2 feet by 2 feet by 1 inch. You then take 3 ml paper. You take your pattern. Once you cut out the board, we use a hot knife. You put your 3 ml double sticky tape down. You can get it in rolls or paper. Then you put your pattern on top of that, and we use this. And this is on our fabric, our list of all the stuff we use. And then you cut it out. A lot of times we're on here, we're not just doing this to do it, we're doing it to test the pattern so we could put it up for people to download. The flag is $3 because there's 2 patterns with and without the flowers. And then we also have we also have the across on the pattern list. That's $2. Most of our patterns will be two unless it's one that you kind of get a second one with it. But and people can use these patterns on their live. We just ask that you do not alter the pattern. You do not claim it as your own. You use it as is. You link where people could get the pattern from, and you link our YouTube channel, and certainly give credit to Blessed to Crochet. All that goes to my mom. All the revenue for that goes to my mother. And you use a seam ripper, and it is the most relaxing. I deal with chronic pain, so it has been a sheer joy. I still crochet. I'm not giving up crochet, but this has just been another thing in my toolbox to help me through. And I think when you're dealing with chronic pain, you better have a toolbox full of stuff because it's needed. Sometimes you're going through stuff and you need it, I think. And I don't think just people with chronic pain. I think our world, we got to find something to do. Don't need a lot of fabric. You just need fabric scraps. So if you're somebody that has a stash of fabric scraps, if you're a quilter, this is a great way to use up their fabric scraps. Around Christmas time, we'll order ornaments. I'll show you how to make ornaments because you have to use polystyrene. And we're also going to get pumpkins, and we'll make little 3D pumpkins with using this method. So it's a great way to to also have that, get your kids involved, and, you know. All right. Thank you very much. We'll come back. We're doing this a lot. Um, we have the window open. I try to come when the window's open, and I'm looking forward to this, to being able to do this when the snow's falling down. That's going to be awesome. So again, anybody that wants me to come on and talk about how to do this with their their community, I will gladly do it, because it was pretty cool today, because Crystal's community was like, "What is that?" They kept asking, and I would have to explain it. I have no problem explaining it. I have no problem. I will explain it over and over again. And I'm so glad. Thank you for coming on in. I appreciate it. So we're getting there, guys. I know for a while there it was hard because there wasn't a lot of people in the chat, but we're getting back there. We're getting back. And sometimes, I mean, I usually cut this, but sometimes if I know enough that I can take a look at it and go, that's just not cut all the way. So I always keep my little thing handy, and I don't put the lid on, because sometimes I have to go back and just recut it because it's not been cut all the way through. I can tell. So anyway. Alrighty. Do we want that? Kind of. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Right there. I got this at this fabric at the fabric store, the country fabric place. It was a fat eighth, which means half of a fat quarter. So anyway, I went to bed. I was asleep by 11 o'clock last night. I was so tired. Slept pretty good. Then I was up because we have construction happening outside of our community. They're repairing some of the concrete. And so our whole house about 7 o'clock was vibrating. I wasn't happy because it was rainy and it wasn't sunny out. And I was like, it's perfect time to sleep in. Our whole room was just vibrating because they were tearing up the concrete. Oh gosh. I had to get up anyway, but still I was like, she's Williker. So I had to make sure I was up because I didn't get that kitty cut till this morning. And so, but I slept better. So I'm doing an experiment. I'm not having my juice tonight, and I'm gonna see. And partly because I forgot to grab it before I went live, and I don't want to have it this late. Sometimes it bothers me if I have it terribly late and then go to bed. So we're gonna do another experiment. I think I would learn. Let's see if I have. See if by chance, if I drink my juice, if I have a better night's sleep. We will see. I will let you know. Hey, Juan, welcome on in. We're partying over here at the house. We're doing our tilted teacups because we're all a little tilted. So hopefully everybody's having a good night overall tonight. I think I'm going to put a post up too so that everybody can start telling me. Of course, I think I have to be down the road a little bit. We have to get done what is, but I also would like your ideas of patterns that you all would like to see like things that you all like. Now, understand when I say that, it may not work for a Kinasaga project, but I'd love to be able to get people's ideas of things that they would like to maybe see done. And then I think it would be really cool to be able to like give them the opportunity to name the piece. You know, if they said I would like to have this, then they have the opportunity of giving the piece a name. I think that'd be fun. You know, I don't know what you all think, but I think it'd be fun. Say, okay, what things do you want? Maybe somebody wants a Highland cow, and then they're the person that gets to name that piece. I think it would be fun. I don't know when I can get it done right now because I feel a little overwhelmed. I think it would be fun. Put a community post up and just say, okay, give me some ideas, things you want. And if I do them, then you get to name the piece. I think it would be a fun idea. It's gonna be fun at Christmas time to come up with some. I'm gonna have to do a snowman. You know that, right? Snowmans are gonna have to happen. I don't have to get up terribly early tomorrow, but I actually want to be up for something tomorrow. Not that I be participating in it. I'm not going to go into detail, but I want to make sure somebody else is up for it. So anyway, some of these pieces I never know what I'm going to use. I just throw them in my possible pile. If I think I could use it, I may never. But I think it would be fun. Now, what I want to do is start building, our our stockpile of patterns too, and have a lot of options for that for people. More difficult than whatever. Oh yeah, I love snowmen. Y'all know that. It can be middle of July, and I like my snowmen. I love my snowmen. I'm a big snow. I don't know what it was because I wasn't raised in snow. I was raised in Florida. You didn't have snow. You had beaches. But see, I wasn't the kind of kid that wanted to go to the beach. And I was also the kid that if you couldn't see the bottom of the ocean, I didn't want to step one foot in front of it. Yeah, exactly. I didn't. It was like if I couldn't see the bottom of the ocean, no way. I didn't want anything to do with it. I was just not. I was not that kind of girl that wanted. Was happy about the beach. I didn't like it. I liked the sunrise. I wasn't too crazy about it, but I could spend hours in my grandparents' pool. It was like, man, that was my. I was pool kind of girl. I was not a beach girl. Still not a beach girl. And if I had to choose which beach, I liked the Daytona Beach better than the Florida Beach because my grandmother lived in Daytona Beach. So Daytona Beach has a harder sand. You could drive on the beach at one point. I don't know if you could still drive. I think it's a cost. But when you walk on Daytona Beach, you actually can. The sand is like pacted. You're not sinking into the sand. Fort Lauderdale Beach is like you've got the sand and it's like sunk. I mean, it's not that way all the way, but once you kind of get past a little bit, in Daytona Beach, it's a much more packed sand and it's so much easier to walk. So I love going to the beach. I love sitting there, listening to the waves. I don't like going in the water. Wasn't my jam. Give me a pool any day, and you got this girl. That's where I want to be. So that's me. But I know it's not everybody, but that was me. I was not a beach girl. I wanted to Gave me a choice between, do you want to spend the day at the beach or the pool? Give me the pool. Had a ball. Spent hours. Yeah, it would be. I think people have done it, but I'd have to figure out how to do it. I'm sure we can make it work. Because I think it would be cool. I think somebody's done that. I've seen something because I'm in that Kennesaw group on Facebook. So people sit there and say, "You miss the beach?" Nope, not one bit. Take me to a pool any day. I miss the pool. I wish we had. We have our not our community pool. We have our, we have the Y. We go to the pool. But when we were in Florida, we had our community had a pool, and we used to love going down there and swimming. Now, when we went down after Christina got her service dog, we couldn't take Jordan with us because he would flip out. And that was part of his training, by the way, because they do not know why those with autism gravitate toward large bodies of water, but they do. They are prone to do that. And so he didn't like baths. I know it's a lab, and you think, oh, should like his bath. Didn't like his bath. He tolerated it, but was not his favorite thing because he was taught to not like water. Yes, that would be cool too. Um, he didn't like water. So he tolerated his bath. He would get him done, but it wasn't his favorite activity. But we took him, he wasn't ours yet to live at home. We took him down to the pool, and Christina went underneath the water because he was sitting outside at the pool. And of course, the people of the community didn't understand it. That, oh, he's just, they said, oh, don't dogs allowed in the patio? And somebody said, it's a service dog. He's allowed to be in here. And we had a lovely president. She says, if anybody has a problem with him, tell him come talk to me. She said, I don't want to hear about it. And so anyway, she, because we had a limit too of in the community of how much weight. So like we had Abby, and Abby was a 25 or $10. She was $11 toy poodle. Those are all great ideas. One, I could be busy for a while, right? Um, and when we get done, leave them in the comments. Come back and just put your ideas in the comments, and I'll start making a little notepad of ideas for patterns. But I got to get through those first. Um, and so Jordan was 100 pounds, and so we had to. Of course, he was a service animal. There was nothing they could do to say about it because he was a service animal. So guess what? Couldn't stop him from living there, even though he was over the weight limit for the community. And Lay's like, if they have a problem with it, come to me. Well, we took him down by the pool. We did it once, and we never did it again because the minute Christina went down in the water, he was up like a shot. I mean, I didn't even. I had a hold of him, but he slipped out of my hands, which was fine. It was the community was locked and everything. He literally just sprung up. The leash let go of my hand. He was right by the water, barking at her in panic mode, like she was drowning or something was happening. And that was it. She was never able to go down there again because he really stressed out. I was like, Jordan, it's okay. So we actually had to take him back to the house and put him in his crate because he just couldn't handle it. I mean, he was up like a shot. He just was like, nope. And that's what he's trained to do. That was exactly what he was trained to do. So the trainer said to me, well, I really would recommend you probably don't take him down to the pool because that'll be very stressful for him because we're training him to realize that that's to be, if Christina would to go in water, to be able to go after her. So we didn't take him down to the pool again because he just was, it was too stressful. He couldn't handle it. So if we ever took him down to the pool, he couldn't be where he could see Christina because he couldn't handle it. I'll take it. I'll be fine. I'll take him. It's just I've got that. Plus, I don't know if you were here to hear, but we are this wonderful place called us the other day and ordered a substantial amount of soap caddies. So I have a stockpile, but I have to make some more. And so I'm trying to do that. And from what I can understand, we're trying to we're trying to get affiliated. So if you all go there and say, "Oh, Mary Mullet," well, that's not me. That's that sweet lady I met in the store. So I'm trying to get Mama to be affiliated with them, or be an affiliate. But from what I can understand, she said, "You better keep your soap caddies going," because she said we'll probably call in a couple weeks to order. And they'll be in 5 locations. They have 5 different stores in the state of Ohio. So it was like, it was, I mean, wholesale it's not like me making, the money they're bought on wholesale. So when we wholesale ours, we do them for a good discount of because they're $5 on the merch store. But when we sell them wholesale, we do them for, less, of course. And I probably don't do them for as much as I should, or we should, but I look at it this way. If we sell them for 5, I want to give the stores the opportunity, if they feel like theirs would sell better at like a 4.50 or a 4, I don't want them to have to stick at a 5. Most places we have gone to, they said we're going to go ahead and sell them at a 5. Most places. The place near our house is selling them for $4.99. I mean, that's what they just did, but it seems to be working, and I'm just glad for the exposure. And I told the people when we were talking, I said, if you want to give us 2 for a little bit more than what I'm asking, go right ahead. So I said, let's see how this goes, and then we can always, increase that if need be. I just found selling them for $5 is kind of the sweet spot. We tried to go to Craft Stoves, and I tried to do them for 6 because she said that, and I said they did much better at 5. It's kind of that sweet little spot everybody liked. So even the store down in the Amish country, I said to the lady, I would rather them, be sold for $5, because then when people go to our merch store, they're seeing them for the same price. Yeah. So anyway, but they weren't. That was. I'll never forget that, being so surprised when he jumped up and just was like panic mode that Christina was. She had to come over to him and said, "Jordan, it's okay. I'm not drowning." But he thought she was. He could not handle her in the pool. I remember one time we were in the pool area, and Christina saw this dog, and it was somebody in our community's dog had gotten out, and we didn't know where this dog was. We were swimming and so forth, so we're going around looking around our neighborhood and knocking on doors and asking neighbors who this dog was. She goes, "Mom, can we take it home?" And I'm like, you know, and Jordan would have been fine, but still, I was like, I'd really like to find this dog's owner than trying to do that. So we're looking around for it, and I had these shoes on. Of course, I was wet because I had just come out of the pool, and I had these shoes that supposedly said no slip, right? No slip. They were supposed to be no slip shoes. Let me tell you about them no slip shoes. And so we're looking for this dog. We finally found the owner of the dog. And we had these speed bumps in our neighborhood, in our community down in Coconut Creek. It was Coconut Creek that we lived. And it was like my mom lived there. It was a fourplex. And so we were, we were walking around. We found them. And I was walking with a gentleman. My husband was someplace walking, trying to find the owners of this dog. And the next thing I know, there was some dried leaves on the what was it? I can't think what it was. The speed bump. And the next thing I know, I was up, and then I went right down, and I twisted my foot. Oh, phew. I started screaming. Josh is not running, but he's walking. He was walking with a cane. He's walking over there. I literally am just, I can't get up, and I'm just crying. And there was the leaves underneath the the thing, and the no slip shoes that I supposedly were wearing that were supposed to be non-slip. They were not slip. They slipped. I went down like a lead balloon. I didn't break my tailbone again, thank God. But man, and so Josh was, um, Josh was. He got me. They had to bring the car. I think my mom was living there, so I think my mom came and got Christina, or we took Christina and dropped her off if my mom was living there at the house or something. And then I had to be taken in my swimsuit to the hospital. You know, because I couldn't change or anything. I just had to go. They had to help me up off the ground. This gentleman and Josh. Uh, the doctor ended up saying, he said, I thought for sure I had broken it. I thought for sure. I was like, this is a break. There's just no way that this cannot be a break. This has to be a break. And I had sprained it. Like the doctor had said, you might as well have fractured it. He said, you didn't break it, but he said, you came close to, he said, it's close enough to be a fracture. It's like the worst sprain you could have had. And man, phew, it was so painful. So the next day I went to work. I don't know how I got to work. We had crutches at home. And then we went to the doctor. He's like, you're going in a cast. So I had to wear a cast. And then my mother, shortly after that, she was going down the stairs at work, and she did something and fractured her foot. I had just gotten my foot out of the cast. My goodness gracious. The doctor was like, you might as well have fractured it because you did it. There's no fracture, but he said you've done it bad enough that you have I guess there's like different kind of stages or numbers of like a sprain. And he said you've got a level 3 sprain, which is you close. It's almost like you fractured your foot. And so I was in a cast for about 6 weeks. Man, that was painful. It was not fun. I could have done without that one. Believe me. All because we were trying very hard to return the dog to its owner. And I probably could have had the community, Like I could have filed with the community to go on their insurance for it, filed a claim because the leaves were on the speed bump that caused me to fall, but I didn't do it. I could have, but I didn't do it. Why will not you go down like I want you to? You're not going down like I want you to. I was talking to Crystal about this. Say, do you talk to your crocheting project? She goes, sometimes they won't cooperate with me. I'm like, yeah, I do it all the time with this and crochet. Doesn't want to pay attention and do what I want it to. So anyway, it was like I was up one moment and down the next. Yep, it was a real bad sprain. I mean, it was. And then, well, I was having this was real fun too because when I had the sprain, um, I was in the kitchen, and of course, the doctor's like, "You need." It was a walking cast, and he's like, you need to walk on it." I'm like, the way the walking cast was, it put my back out of whack, so it really made it painful to walk. So I just finally said to him, I said, "Doctor, I'm never going to walk with this cast on without crutches. It's just not happening. My back can't do it." And so it's in the kitchen, and I was making something, and I cut my. I was making something real quick, and I used a knife, and I cut my finger, and there we are back at the hospital getting stitches. So here I here I am in a cast with stitches on my finger trying to walk. I was like, okay, this is a lot of fun. That was just like, sheesh, you want to put insult to injury? That was like, oh boy. So here I am trying to walk on crutches with now stitches in my finger. It's like, Tarsha's just like, I just need to wrap you in bubble wrap. That's all there is to it. Oh, that was funny. And we'd had a lovely day. Christina had competed at a horse thing for Special Olympics. I mean, we'd had a lovely day. Then we're going to the hospital, getting my foot looked at. And I didn't think, I mean, I knew I had done something, I wasn't sure. And they didn't find a break at the hospital, of course. But I was at work, and I put my foot down, and man, I started screaming. I'm like, okay, I need to go see a doctor, because I knew at that point I had done something. And I thought they're probably going to cast it. And yes, I got a purple cast. Y'all should know me by now. I love my purple. I would have really loved to have one of them little knee board things. Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I can be accident prone. I'll tell you that right now. It is what it is. I'm glad I picked up this fabric, this gold fabric. I knew we were going to use it at one point. Glad I picked it up. It was on sale. I thought I'd save it for Christmas. But I've used it on several different occasions. I'm using it on the cat, everything else. Glad I picked it up. It was only $6 for a yard. It went for like $10. Now I'm finding out with every one I do, I have sparkles at some point. I think that's my signature, that I have sparkles. Sparkles with everything I do. I have glitter at some point. Somewhere there on my thing has to have glitter. Not all of my ones have had it, but it seems to be it started with the rose, and every one of them have had a little bit of sparkle. Need to be the sparkle. So I think tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be on. I may take the day and just kind of really hunker down. So I have to get all the soap caddies ready to take down to the Amish country next week by the 6th or by the 7th. So I want to get them to them. So I may take the day off and do it. It's kind of why I like, but I don't know. Christina was thinking of coming on tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But if she wants to come on, I will come on. Absolutely 100%. But you got one more piece of the handle before we're going on to this. And then I'm glad we chose the darker color with this because then it makes it pop for sure. I think it's easier to see it come into life by doing the blue. That's why I did it for y'all so you can see. Because the color was like, it looks so close to this stuff. It's like hard to see. It was like it had all the colors. So, and guys, if you write me an email and I don't get back to you in a couple days, know that it's not because I'm not trying to. I will get back to you. I promise. I've just been. Well, Sunday I was up so late trying to fix that thing for Christina. I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, which I did kindly out of love for her. And then I felt lousy on Sunday for majority of the day. I was asleep by 8 o'clock. I was so tired. It's taken me a couple days to recover, and then I've been busy today. And between this and soap caddies, and so it takes me a couple days to respond. I know everybody will be patient. At least I hope they will be. They know that I appreciate everybody within our community tenfold. You guys mean the world to me, and you know that. I'm so grateful. I was telling Crystal, I said, yeah, Crystal, that, I know people sit and I've seen them, they take the little pieces of paper off and they measure the fabric. I cannot be bothered doing that. I find myself more irritated with it than it helps. So if it helps you to take these little pieces of fabric and take these little pieces of paper and take it to the fabric and cut it, be my guest. it's not something I want to bother doing. The only time I do it is when I have to take a piece of white and match it up to a like piece that's kind of you know then I'll do it. Otherwise than that, I've tried it and it's like, nope, I just want to put the fabric on, let's move on. I don't have time for that. I've seen people do it, and if they find it helpful to them, that's great. I find it's just, and maybe I would save a little bit of fabric, but I annoy myself more than I actually enjoy doing it that way. So I don't bother doing it. I find it's just easier for me to just put the fabric there and move on. Take the step of taking the piece of fabric and putting it over there. No. Taking the paper, taking it to the fabric, cutting the fabric. No. No, no. I'm starting to learn how to eye the fabric and know exactly how much I need, but I don't want to. And I think that's part of it. You have to learn what works for you, and what works for you may not work for everybody else. Somebody may say that's the way I want to do it, then go do it. It's not the way I want to bother doing it. Find it very annoying. But that's me. And if you're using these glue tools to put your fabric down, you just have to be very careful how you do it, because you can really you can put a hole. It doesn't take much to just go through quite a bit with these. So you have to use them. Sometimes they're needed if they really need to kind of push the fabric down and it's not going with a seam ripper. But you have got to kind of do it with a little bit of gentleness, because sometimes it can really go through the fabric in a way, or the board in a way you don't want to. I mean, if you went through to all the way to the end, it's not going to do anything. You're not going to see it, but still, you have to be a little careful when when you're using them. And I tell people that they see me using them, so they don't think, oh, I can use them. Because I thought originally, oh, those would be great because you can use them instead of the seam ripper, but you can't. They're too. They're not. It's just too much fabric there, and it's not going down like I want. Come on, come on. You're just too much, and I got to take some of you off. There we go. Too thick. It's not going down smoothly like I want it to. They're great. They're great tools to have. You just got to be very careful when you use them. Sometimes they work. A seam ripper is the best tool to use. I was asked that today. Someone's like, "Can I use a nail file?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend it." But sometimes I've done it, especially when I'm doing when I'm doing ones and they're kind of, you've got the double fabric and you need for it to go down. It works. It worked for the glue. Like this piece here is just being a little bit difficult because it's going down, and so sometimes it just helps. When you need a little bit more force, but I do find out it kind of tends to kind of fray the fabric easier than the seam ripper does. So I'm just very careful when I use them. I find out when you have to kind of go and you have to round them off. They work. Like if I want to get a smoother round out of that. I'm gonna. They're a great tool. I just tell people that because I don't want them to think, oh, I could just use that instead of a seam ripper. But if you're going to use them, you got to use them with caution. So I think, okay, we're going to do this one. What time is it? Do this one. I always say I'm not going to be on long, and then it's like before I know it, it's like, boom. Is that going up? No. Well, that's the inside. Hold on a second. That's the inside. Hold on. My eyes are getting tired because I've been on it for a while. Okay, this is going to be okay. This is the inside part of the cup. So we'll have to think about what we're going to do for that one. I think we'll use the tan that I'm planning to use. We'll use that for the inside. Because if I use the dark, then yeah, we're planning to use this as alternate. So we'll use that for the inside of the cup thing. Because the tan won't be, tan will be over here. So it'll kind of go up here a little bit. And that'll be, what's a solid tan print. We may have to choose a different color for that. Like a totally different color. We'll have to look for a different one. Because that's going to be too, and we can't, I don't want to use the same pattern part. Okay, well, it's going to have to be something I think of. Because, you know what we could do, and I don't think it would look that bad. We can use this. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take this and put it here. And it won't be too bad of a one. And it will go with, because this is what we're going to do the hearts with. That's going to be the background. And then the hearts are going to be this. So those are all go together. So we'll use this for the inside. Let me show you all. The inside of the coffee cup, or the coffee cup, Mary, the teacup. We'll use this for the inside part of that. Okay. Problem solved. It'll look better than using what we have, because if we use what we have, then they'll kind of all blend in and you won't see the inside of the cup. That's the problem. I tried to encourage my daughters not to rush this, enjoy it. She goes, I am, Mom. But your job is not to do this and rush through it. Your job is to enjoy it. Take your time. Your tests and patterns too, because then they'll be on her. She has a merch store, so they'll be on her merch store. And eventually, we're going to have shirts, guys, and some of them have some really funny sayings. Of course, with the Kinasaga Chicks logo. So like I was saying the other day, if you're going to do this, you either have to do solid, solid, or neutral, neutral, and a print in the middle, like a really bold print in the middle, or you have to do a bold print and then a solid. You know what I mean? Or not a solid. I'm going to come up with it in a second. You have to do either a bold a bold print here, like a pattern print like we're doing here, and one here, and then like a neutral one here, or you have to do. Yeah, I didn't do those subjects either. Well, either I was not a school person where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go back to school. No. Um, where you have to do a neutral, neutral, and solid, like a busy pattern in the middle, or you have to do busy, busy, and a solid, a more solid neutral one in the middle. So, because I think if you did all busy, it would it would be hard to see the teacups all together. But if it was my daughter, all of them would be busy. Be very unique to see what she would make these for, but probably would not be something that she would enjoy doing. But my mother and I have tea every day. So to me, it's something really special because um, we have our tea every day. Mhm, mhm. So I would, and that's kind of why we planned out the fabric because I wanted to see what we were going to do with it. Some of them I don't necessarily plan out the fabric; I just wing it. But for this one, I think you have to have a little bit of idea of what you're doing because your first teacup will kind of determine how you're going to go for the rest of them. If it was one teacup, it wouldn't be a problem. The amount of teacups are on here, yes. I think it's coming out cute. At least I hope it is. I know my mom will love it. She doesn't even know that it's coming her way when I get it done. If I know who's getting this one, it's just going to be a little late. But if I know her, she'll hang it up in her room with pride. You get these tools, the white one is really good for the fine ones. The other ones, I use the white one a lot because it's the tiniest one. Sometimes if I think there's there's not always a fray, but sometimes I go in with the glue and I just kind of I use the white one and I just outline it. And then when there's like, it's not wanting to go in where I want it to, I take the tool and I can get the rounds parts exactly where I want. Sometimes I put seam ripper or glue on my seam ripper. It all depends. So it all depends what it wants to do. This. Come on. I told you you're going to get where I want you to go. We're not fooling around here. There we go. So these are going to be kind of alternate. And then we'll do this one and the polka dot one, which I think will be cute. I just didn't like school. I wasn't one that was like, oh, let me go back to school. Couldn't wait to get out of school. Of course, I really wish that they would have. I wish they would have diagnosed me properly. I think it would have helped. I wasn't diagnosed. I wasn't diagnosed with dyslexia properly, and so if I had been diagnosed with dyslexia, then I think it would have made a big difference. Now, here's where you need to look at it for a minute. And this is going to be our last piece because let's see, where is my white? Where did I take it out? I have to go buy more white. That's kind of. I had it today, so it's not like it's gone very far. Yeah. This is where you've got to see. But I need to go get thinner white. And I looked at the place I was at the other day and I didn't see it. So I'm going to go. Oh, Lord. I have to go to Country Fabric Store and see if they've got really thin white. Oh. I didn't get 2 points, guys. This is the trick I told everybody on the live today. Turn your panel upside down. Okay. Take your fabric and do this number with it. Okay. And this way you can tell whether or not you may not be able to see it really close, but you can tell whether you like it with or without the white. I can tell that has a little bit more of a kind of dirtier look with this than with adding the white. It's a crisper look looking like that. So I'm going to add the white, but that's a good trick to do is if you're debating, well, do I need a thin white underneath? Take your fabric and line it up like that, and you can tell whether or not you need that extra little bit. And it's a good little trick. And I've done that sometimes, like, no, it really doesn't show a difference. And like this time, it's like, yep, it really does. And I see it, and I don't like it. I like it better with the white. So then this is the only time you're going to see me. Y'all can do it however you want to do it. Just taking the fabric and kind of lining it up here. And I don't do it accurately, but I try to. Probably because I don't have much of this left, but I will have to get some more of something. And then we take our stuff. Yep, that's a great trick because then you're seeing if you need to do it. Sometimes I put it up and it doesn't make a difference. I can tell a difference. You may not be able to tell a difference, but I can tell a difference with it. And it doesn't look as crisp as I like. And having that little thing. Now, one thing I did notice the other day, I'll show you all in a minute. So I get this down. See how much better that looks? You got a little polka dots in here. Plus, it just was like I didn't want to put the same fabric here and then have you're not going to see the inside of the teacup. We have the same fabric. A little bit of polka dots. It'll work. That's a trick I found the other day. I'm learning all different kind of tricks. And people were wondering whether this stuff, even though it says temporary, whether it comes off. It is not coming off. It's staying together. It's giving me enough time to get it into position before I'm having to do anything, before it's going to come off. And this is where you kind of need these tools because I need a little bit that's a thicker thing, so sometimes you need them for getting down in there. But you gotta handle it with a little bit of kit gloves. Sometimes sometimes I can't get it in enough and I need it to be just pushed in. It's a little bit more than the seam ripper has, but I gotta do it carefully. If I press too hard, then I really jam it in there, and that's not good. Now, see, it's just enough of a contrast to have the little with the polka dots, where you can kind of figure out that that's the inside of that coffee cup. I think if we had tried to put it with the colors we're using, it wouldn't have been enough of a contrast. Yeah. I didn't do theater much. I was in band, which reminds me, tomorrow I have got to start working on my flute. I was going to do it today and then I got sidetracked. Tomorrow I got to pick a song, and I'll have to pick a really easy song because I'm supposed to do my flute on the 16th. And every day I've said, oh, I've got to do it. And then I go through and it's like, that's another thing I got to do. No practice. Oh, goodness. I'll get it done. It's just, I just sat here remembering, oh, yeah, my flute. I was going to haul it out today and I didn't. Tomorrow, I will be sitting down trying to figure out what song I need to do. Otherwise, I'm going to really embarrass myself, even though I'm surprised they wanted me anywhere near the stage after I did the last one. Everybody's like, it's beautiful. It was beautiful. And I'm like, really? I heard every mistake in the world. I know. Just hard on myself. Can't help it. Of course, I think if I could find my flute out in a garage someplace and get it fixed, it would be easier. I don't like the way Christina sounds, but it's the only flute I got right now. Mine is somewhere out in the garage. When I find it, then I'll go see how much it's going to cost to repair it. Last time I checked, it was going to be about $300. Because I lent my flute to Christina. That's all I have to say. And then she wanted to use my flute, which was fine, but she did some stuff and it damaged it. Love my daughter. But my flute my flute is much richer in sound. Come up. Trying to get that down in there, so it's going to be a little tricky, but we'll make it work. Anyway, I think that was the right move to do the I think that was the right move to do the polka dots. Because I think if we had done it with anything else, it would have blended in. I think that was absolutely, and then when we put the blue next to it, it's going to look really good. Because I think if we had done any one of these colors up here, it would have blended it in too well. I really like that polka dot there. So we won't have that for the top of here. But I like the polka dot. It's just enough without being too much. So anyway. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's coming along. And no, I will not be outlining this piece. I have to find I really honestly have to find another alternative to outlining it. Cause that yarn is driving me nuts, that thread. The embroidery thread is not intended for the purposes I'm using it. for. And if I want to outline it, I'm going to drive myself crazy using the embroidery thread. I'm going to finish the goose and then I'll find something else, because the problem with the embroidery thread is I want it to go a certain way and it's stiffer, and it just, there is, I think the crochet thread is a 10, and the ones at Hobby Lobby are a 10, but I think they have crochet thread on Amazon and it's a size 8. And I'd be curious to get some and see how much thinner it is. But I really I really do not, I will not be using the embroidery thread, even though I love it. I'm glad I have it, but I would not, I'm gonna, it's gonna drive me up a wall. I would not recommend you using the embroidery thread to outline your work. I want to get the size 8 crochet thread, and see how much, but I don't want to. I think the one on Amazon was like $32. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get it and spend $32 to find out I don't like it. So, like, I think we'll see. We'll wait on that, or I'll get one and I'll see how it goes. Oh, and another thing, and they're at we got to go down. It's not going to happen tonight. I may run down again. Who knows? Um, just so people know, and I found out that if by chance you leave that spray and your board gets a little whatever, just take your scraper and it'll come off. But I try to wipe it after I use that spray because it gets all funky. I wanted to show you all this over on, and then I wanted to get off. I got these. Not fish. Fish. You gotta see it from perspective. Okay. So I've got to order a size 12 from ST. I wanted to show you all this, okay? So this is the fish. This is the 4 millimeters, and I have listed them on the the link. Okay. So this is great for the goose. It will be great for other things. We're gonna have eyes for days. And I thought, okay, I'll order the 6 millimeter for the fish. And I thought those will be big enough for the fish. And I got those off of ST because I liked them. They were purple. But I have to order a 12 millimeter. So Josh said to me, the 6 millimeters are going to be too big. This is the 6 millimeter eye. I need to order a 12 millimeter. It's a resin eye. So what my point of it is those are 4. I was thinking maybe I'll go ahead and order the 5 millimeter eyes in the clear, because I don't like the colors. I mean, I would use some of them, not all of them. And I thought maybe I'll use the 5 millimeter eyes. I'm not even going to bother ordering the 5 millimeter, because if you look at the 4 millimeter eye and the 6 millimeter eye, there really isn't that much of a difference. You know what I mean? There's just really not, there's not much of a difference. So I'm going to tell you, if you're going to order them, and I think I got the last 6 millimeter eye and the clear one. And they do have other eyes, but the one thing, and I don't know if y'all can see this, that I liked about this specific one, if I can get it close enough. Do you see the little hint of purple in that eye? Just a little bit of purple. I don't know if you can see it. Can y'all see it? And bring it close enough for y'all to see it. There's a little bit of a hint of purple, which I liked, because then it looked like it went with this specific one. So I know I'll find use for it. It cost me $2 on ST. It wasn't that big a deal. But I will order. I actually went on Chat GPT and I said, okay, give me a 12 millimeter eye and let me see what that looks like. And then I said, give me a 14 millimeter. And they said they liked the 14 millimeter better, but I actually like the 12 millimeter better. So I'm going to order the same one, but I'm going to order it double. but I wanted you all to see the perspective of between the 4 millimeter and the 6 millimeter. But I just liked the purple of the eye, and I got it. I will go ahead and this is who I got it off of on ST. I will go ahead and put their ST shop in because they had some really cute ones on the list. Um, but I do like the clear ones because I mean they do have the pack of ones that have all different colors and everything, and 4 and 5 and 6. But I knew some of the colors I would never use, and I thought this way, if they're clear, then I'm really not trying to having to match a color up with it. But I will order 12 millimeter because it's an eye with like a hint of purple around it, but it needs to be 12. But anyway, between the 4 millimeter and the 6 millimeter, I'm gonna have eyes for days. I'm not gonna bother ordering the 5 millimeter. It's like there's not much difference between the 5 to the 6. I don't think enough to me to order enough. And then I thought I'm gonna do projects, but I don't think I'm gonna have. I think there are 100 or more eyes. I'm not gonna do. It'll take me years to go through that many eyes. So anyway, that is our teacup. We did a lot. Continuing to work on that one. I don't know if I'm going to come live. I talked to Christina about possibly coming live tomorrow, so we'll see. If not, I may take the day off tomorrow and just work on soap caddies. I think Josh has a doctor's appointment with the pulmonologist on Thursday. Then we have something with our community on Friday. It's like from 9 to 2. And somewhere in this, I got to practice my flute. And Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. I'm very, very thankful. I'm a little overwhelmed right now, but it'll be fine. It'll all come together and all work. And just guys, keep watching stuff. I mean, I don't, if you can, you have the ability. And yeah, I'm trying to pace myself, believe me. But I'm so enjoying this. It's like between that and the crochet, it's like I have an itch to do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. And I wanted to come live because I wanted to show you all the cat. Um, what was I saying about something? Did this again today. I don't remember what it was. Um, I can't remember. I'll remember in a minute. I don't remember now. Oh, yes. Even if you can just allow stuff to run in the background while you're sleeping, we have we have 17 different ones and last for 10 hours, rainstorms, whales, all different kind of stuff. Any stuff that you haven't watched, or you can just run a playlist while you're sleeping. I mean, I have my laptop over here. I can run people's playlists and put in the it's a Chromebook, put in earphones and let it run. I know sometimes YouTube will say, "Are you still watching?" or whatever, but I ran Blondie Gypsy Travelers playlist and I just had it running. So any help with that? We are so close to getting back to monetization. I would really like to accomplish that. And I think too, oh, I'm so glad. Um, I think too that this will really lend itself to keeping those watch hours going. And I think what's happening too is people are becoming really curious about this. It's coming together and they're really coming curious and they're coming and going, what is that? And I'm glad that it's starting to take off like that. And again, we're just a channel that's there for you guys to come in and chat. And I love seeing what I did before where people were talking back and forth and that's what we're here for. That's what I wanted from day one. Wasn't looking for anything else but for people to connect because Gosh, life is hard enough. Let's try to get through it together. And if I can facilitate that, I can sit here doing something I'm really enjoying and loving and just being blessed beyond measure with. All is good. And hopefully you all feel like you're a part of this channel and part of this community and you're a blessing to my mom and I. And you all mean a lot to me and I'm grateful. You're just your family. That's all there is to it. There's people that have supported me and maybe one day I'll get to meet some of you. Maybe it'll happen. I don't expect to be a famous YouTuber. I'm just going to be glad to be in a position where I'm making a difference in somebody's life and they're sitting there, not feeling like they're by themselves and, you know, they don't have anybody because that's not what we're here for. I spent too long in my life going through that and feeling like I didn't have anybody and I ain't doing that. And I guess it's because I'm a grandmother now. I am not apologizing anymore. I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? You all don't like me for who I am and who God designed me to be. Sorry, I can't undo me. I'm going to be me and you either love me or not. If you don't, there's the door. And it's your loss. Can't do anything about it. I can change and try to be accommodating to some degree, but I can't totally change who I am. So I am working to find an alternative for you all when it comes to outlining because I think our goose will be the last time I outline with the embroidery thread because otherwise I think I will lose some hair in the process. I really, really, really great concept, but it's not a good thing to outline with. It's just not. It's not. It doesn't want to bend. It doesn't want to stay. I try to put it in a place and it's just, and yet I'm not thrilled with using DMC thread either because DMC thread, you're using 6 of them. There's 6 in the thing. So now you've got all this, you've got all the phrase, all the DMC threads trying to come together. So if you use one at a time, it's really thin. So I don't know if that's the alternative to use. So I don't know. I don't know I mean, I've seen people use cording. I like the outline look. I'm just not really crazy about that. It'd be nice if it was because it's a great idea. And it's shiny and it looks nice and everything, and the crochet thread is too thick. It's really, really thick. The crochet thread is like thick and sometimes it's too much in one place. And so it's trying to find the balance of it. And I'm working to figure out what that is. I don't quite know yet. But it's not going to be that. Because I'm telling you, when I was doing Christina's, I was like, I'm going to tear my hair out. It looks nice. I'm glad I did it. And it did cover up some of her little beginning mistakes that she had. But it's not something I'm going to use permanently. And actually, Josh sat there and we have a sewing machine that has the ability to embroider. And he was talking to me today because someone showed me a piece that they actually used embroidery for the words. And I thought, that's awesome. That's great. I would have never thought of that. So he said to me, he said, well, we have a machine and we have the embroidery thread. He said, I could do that. We could do the words using the embroidery thread. And he said, doing, the embroidery. And I'm like, well, you can have fun because I have no desire to do that. He said, I'll do it. He said, I know how to do it. He said, I can figure out how to do it. I'm like, okay. So we do actually have sewing machine that can embroider, and I thought that was a great idea to use an embroidery thread to actually make letters. I said to him, I said, well, have fun because I'm not going to do it. He said, well, I can figure out how to do it. I'm like, okay. Give him something else to get his hands in. I have no desire to turn on the sewing machine whatsoever and embroider, but if he wants to go ahead and embroider the letters, go at it. Have fun. I thought it was a great idea, but we have the embroidery thread, but the problem is it's a stiffer thread, and you want it to go this way, and it doesn't want to do this way, and it doesn't want to curve, and it's not the ideal thread to outline if you want to outline. I'm going to finish outlining the goose, but I'm not going to continue with it. I can just all tell you all that. It was a great thing to pull out. I'm glad we tried it, but I had to figure something else out. And I think if I can I'm going to go on Amazon and see if they have crochet thread at like a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or something like that, because I think that it would be easier than the DMC thread because you're not dealing with like 6 strands to try to control. You're only dealing with one strand. But I have to look at the thickness. And the ones at Hobby Lobby are a size 10, which is what we have in the silver and the gold. So anyway, I know I'm probably rambling. It's probably because I'm tired and I need to go to bed. I did have a nap today, but I need to go do another caddy before I go to sleep. Anyway, y'all, I love how our little teacups are coming along. I think it's coming along good. I love some. I'll have to get it done and then take you live and give it to her and let you see what she says. I'm excited. I think it'll look really cool when it's all put together. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get off here and go to get ready for bed. And I love you all. Have a great night. Thank you for just being here. This was wonderful tonight. And I really appreciate all the time that you spend here and all that you give back to us. We appreciate everyone and love each and every one of you. So with that being said, guys, be proud of being you because everyone else is taken. There's only one you. There's nobody else that can be you. You are unique and we love you all. And we have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered and keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required or seam ripper. I have to add that now, right? So I love y'all. See you possibly tomorrow. If not Thursday, I don't know. Just come in. If we're live, come in and chat, have some fun, and make those wonderful connections. So we'll continue to work on the teapot, but I guarantee you it will not be outlined. Don't think I have time for outline, but we got to finish the goose, and I will sit there and outline it. I probably will outline the goose off of the channel, and then we'll do it. You know, I promise I won't put the eyes on until we're live, so we all can be together when we finally give it its personality, right? Because the eyes are part of the personality. Love you all. Have a great night. See you later, and keep making all those wonderful connections. Bye bye, everybody.